We have a set of measurements here for two different little girls, and we have the measurement chart. You want to go by the main measurement chart and not the one that says measurements with addities added in. This is the final fit of the jacket, but every garment has wearing ease set in so that it's not skin tight. Only swimsuits are like a negative ease, but you want to be your daughter to move comfortably in it. So we're not going to look at this chart. We're going to go by the main measurement chart with this. And I tell you here that you can combine sizes to get custom size, and we're going to practice doing that so you know what it looks like. So on this first little girl, Ellie, I have her chest, waist, hip, and arm measurement. Now I went ahead and measured her, with my standard measuring tape. And so you want to get your fundamental measurements out of the way. You want to bring those here, and then you want to compare their measurements with the size chart. So I'm going to circle her measurements on my size chart. So for chest, I have 21 inches, okay? And then waist, I have 20, okay? Her hip is 21, go down here. So 21.25, that's a little bit bigger, so that's fine. And then her arm length is 15. So that is okay. Your child is not going to fit standard measurements. It is okay and normal that your child will be like all over the board, okay? So we have, our classic children's standard sizes, but no child is. That's just an average. So we want a custom fit. So I can see that she's going to fit in the bodice for a size 3. So I'm going to make her a size 3 bodice and back. And then the hip doesn't really matter since it's an A-line skirt and it flares out. So that is smaller is better. Like if she were a 25 and a small torso here, I would need to bump up these sizes, like the chest size as well, to accommodate the larger hip. But because it's an A-line dress and it flares out, I don't really need to worry about that. So you can, it's only one size down anyway, so I can disregard that. Her sleeve is going to be 15, which is a 7. That's okay. You can cut out a size 7 sleeve. So that will be, I can't write upside down, I don't think. So I would want to notate here that I'm going to cut out size 7 sleeve. And the only reason you may want to pull back out the other chart with the ease added in is because it talks about approximate shoulder hem length. So that is from her shoulder down to where it falls on her calf. And this is a T-length dress, and so that's where it should fall. And so you can go ahead and measure over here, go back to your child and measure their length from shoulder, starting at the top of the shoulder down to the back of their calf, and that from her backside. And that should give you the approximate length of how long you want it to be, so you'll know how long to cut the skirt. So we have our basic measurements in this one, and then from this chart you can use that hem length to find out what size you need to make long. This little girl is 33 inches, so tall. So I'm going to go ahead and give her the, actually, I'm sorry, that goes down to her feet. I'm going to go ahead and do, I don't want that long, the size 7 length right here, because this goes down to the floor, but obviously I don't want to touch the floor, so sorry, I was wrong. I need to use, about 28. So, and if you're not sure what that is, you can take your tape measure from the floor. If you knew it was 33, take it from the floor, measure up to her calf, and then subtract the difference, and you'll get like where it needs to be right there. So I'm going to make it a size 7 in length. So what do we have together? I have her in a size 7 sleeve, the skirt, size 7, and then the bodice. So the bodice is the front piece and the 2 back pieces. I'm going to make a 3. So this is how I'm going to achieve the custom fit. I'm going to go by this. So when I go to cut out my pattern, these are the pieces I'm going to cut out differently. The bodice is going to have a narrow bodice. I'm going to attach it to a size 7 skirt and a size 7 sleeve. and they should fit pretty well. So there could be like a tiny bit of overlap, maybe a 1/4 of an inch. Like if I'm combining drastic sizes, I wouldn't worry about it. It's still gonna produce a great quality fit overall. So even if the sleeve goes over by, you know, a 1/4 inch on each side, it's really okay. You're still gonna get a really great fit. So they are meant to go together, but there is, you know, you can overlap them as well. If you have any other fit issues, please feel free to write it on my Joy to Sew page on Facebook, or you can message me on Instagram at Joy to Sew, or you can reach me at joy@joytosew.net for any further fitting questions. I'd be happy to answer for you. Now we're going to do the second child, and I have her name is May. She's 10 years old, and these are her measurements. So we're going to find out what sizing we should combine for hers. You won't always need to combine sizing. Obviously, if they're right off the rack, you know, they might fit across the board, but generally, as a rule, kids are different. So you're going to more typically find that they need a tad bit different sizing. So let's look at May here. She has a chest of 28. So I'm going to come down here, 28. All right, and then her waist is 24.5, which fits right here in the same category. Her hip is 33, so a little bit bigger. She would be down here. That's okay because it's an A-line skirt. Hip measurement doesn't matter a whole lot. And then we have her arm at 19. So that is fine. That she's right in between. I'd rather have it a little longer, and you could shorten it by 1/2 an inch. You could splice the end of the pattern and take off 1/2 an inch, and it'll still fall about right. So I'm still going to do 18.5. So she's 19, so you could just right across the board, you can get away with doing the same size, or you can choose to either, you know, extend it by another 1/2 an inch to where it hit 19, or you could go just have the sleeve a tad bit longer and go with the size 12 sleeve. So there's not a whole lot different in those two, but see, she is almost straight across a size 10. So that's what I would need to do for her. And I can grab my ease chart. I don't think I measured her with the length, but with that expected length, she would be 36, you know, it would be 36 inches, almost 37 from her shoulder, the edge of her shoulder, down to the back of her calf. And that is how you'll know the skirt length. So she is going to be, the bodice and waist are what size, like she should get a size 10. This older girl should get a size 10 bodice and size 12 length and size, I'm going to keep it the 10 sleeve. So I think it's so critical to go ahead and do these beginning measurements because you'll know there won't be any surprises on the final fit of the garment. You will be able to mail order it. If you know the exact sizing, you'll be able to send it, you know, and know that your customer or your grandchild or your daughter is going to get a perfect fit in their outfit. So I would take the time to measure your child accurately and then compare those measurements with the two charts so that you can make a custom outfit that is so beautiful and that she's going to love for years to come. Also, one more quick thing is that if your child is between sizes or growing, I would go ahead and go up to the next size, or maybe even 2 if you know that you want to get a little extra wear out of it. You can even bump them up in the length of it to the next size because, you know, as we know, children only grow about 1/2 an inch outward, you know, wider as they grow, and they definitely grow up. They grow taller each year by leaps and bounds. So if you wanted, I would suggest if you're like looking for this outfit to fit a longer time, I would go at least 1/2 an inch to an inch longer in the sleeve, and then I would lengthen by another size in the length and maybe keep the bodice the same or go one size up. So those are just some suggestions I have on creating that custom look that you're looking for and getting it right the first time. Thanks for joining me. This is Joy with Joy to Sew. I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to subscribe below.